Like, what do you mean just do it? Do what? How the hell do you start?
Hi everyone, my name is Alex Dobson and welcome to part 3 of my chat with Eric Silverberg. Eric Silverberg is a former university lecturer turned entrepreneur and public speaking coach. If you haven't caught parts 1 and 2 of my chat with Eric, please check them out. Now let's go to part 3.
What's the most powerful thing that you've learned on your entrepreneurial path that you would tell others that are potentially thinking of starting their own idea?
Find a good business partner.
Okay. Do you think that's essential, or just maybe for certain people?
For certain types of people, it's essential. You know who you are. And like I said, I always wanted to be an entrepreneur, so I took entrepreneurship courses at Ivy when I was an undergrad and when I was doing my MBA. And the most common piece of feedback that successful entrepreneurs had to not yet entrepreneurs was just do it.
Yeah.
And as a student, before I became an entrepreneur, that advice was so frustrating to me. Like, what do you mean just do it? Do what? How the hell do you start? And only after doing it myself do I realize, unfortunately, I know how annoying that advice is, but it is the only advice to give. Like I said earlier, we took a lot of wrong actions, but they were better than no actions.
Right.
Just do something. You got to be willing to fail, because it might, but just do something. Entrepreneurship is about action at the end of the day. So depending on what business someone's starting, I don't know what that action should be, and I don't even know if I myself would get the actions right based on what the business idea is, but I know that you better do something.
I noticed one thing that you do when I ask a question is sometimes you take a pause to really think about the answer. Is that something that you recommend? Because I know a lot of people are afraid of empty space and not saying something immediately. Do you recommend that people take that time to really come up with an answer? Or is it just something that you do because that's your personality?
I don't think it really matters. I think you can just speak immediately when someone asks you a question, and if you say something stupid, who cares? But what's even better is giving it some thought and coming up with a better answer, and you can only do that by thinking and shutting up and thinking. One of the things we teach is being comfortable in silence. Most people are very afraid of silence.
Yeah.
And in teaching people how to get over their fear of silence, I have become unflappable in silence. I am not afraid of silence at all. And so I use it. And I think other people should too, yeah.
Okay.
If they want.
Oh, there you go, up to them.
Yeah.
All right, and lastly, let's shift to the future. So you and Eli can only be physically present in one location at a time. Mm-hmm. Are you looking to scale up the business? And if so, how would you do so?
We're definitely looking to scale up in the ways that we can do ourselves. We can make an online curriculum that we host in a video series or whatever it might be, so we're going to do that. We can write a book.
To share like some of the learnings you've had in the course materials.
Some of the course materials, but written in the form of like a novel rather than the form of a textbook.
Right.
So we can go and sell our online curriculum, and we can sell our books. So that's a good way to scale. We can raise our prices. That's a good way to scale. But none of them really answer your main question, which I think was, are you going to hire more trainers to do what you do? And the answer is, I don't know. I think that probably somewhere down the road we will, because Eli and I are both so motivated by growth that it's hard to imagine that we won't do that. But at the same time, we're pretty happy just doing it ourselves. I think the problem will become something we need to solve when our capacity is such that you call us for public speaking training in November and we can't train you until next October. That's a really bad customer experience because we're booked until then, right? So when that starts becoming a real issue, it's already a bit of an issue. I mean, right now it's November, and if you want to book us, let's look at February or March. And even that's not the best customer experience. So it's already becoming a bit of an issue. When it becomes an even bigger issue, I think we're going to have to start talking about either splitting up, which we don't want to do because we think the program is taught with 2 facilitators.
So you would each individually
we could each individually teach at the same time but different groups.
Right, so it's twice the manpower.
Or we could hire more trainers.
Now, looking into the future, as far as you can see, and in the context of you being a co-founder of Speaker Labs, what's the biggest fear you have?
the world changing enough that public speaking training is no longer something people need.
Do you actually think that's a possibility?
No, I think that like I know there's going to be like, you know, machine learning and AI this and that and automation, but at the end of the day we're humans who need human connection. And so I don't feel that conversations are ever going to go away, and public speaking is just conversation at scale. So I don't really foresee that being an issue, but it is possible. Losing steam, losing energy is something. I mean, most jobs require you to like sit at a desk all day. My job, like, it's a lot of physical activity to run around a room and public speak and be high energy all day. So I don't feel like that is tomorrow at all. I feel like I've got still a long runway, and I don't know if it'll ever happen, but losing steam could happen.
And that's because, like you said earlier, you and Eli are the product.
Right.
So if you guys lose steam, then the product
doesn't get taught.
Yeah.
Or it gets taught with less energy. And remember, good education is value and entertainment. We'd better bring it. So that's another thing that I worry about. I worry. I so like my partnership with my co-founder that something I guess that's in the back of my mind is, what if he doesn't want to do this anymore? I don't worry about us having a falling out. We are so radically honest. We're good. We have a great relationship, but I'm not 100% certain that Eli's going to want to do this forever. I'm pretty sure I will. So I guess there's a little bit of a fear of losing him as a business partner because we work so well together, but that's not even that big of a fear because I'll just find someone else. I've already told you I can't do it myself. I'll find someone to replace Eli if I have to, and what I've learned with Eli will be obviously applied to the next partnership, hopefully. But that's, I guess, another worry. I know that everyone's got their own personal goals, and there is a chance that at some point, whether it's Eli or any future employees, their goals no longer involve Speaker Labs, in which case I will be without him or them.
Right. What's your ultimate dream, best case scenario for where you want to take Speaker Labs in the future?
To new geographies.
Okay. Like with physical offices present, or just
maybe not offices, but maybe offices. Maybe we've got like a group of people in Chicago who train the Chicago market.
Yeah.
The first step would be just going there ourselves. We've done some trainings, and obviously our core business is in Toronto, but we've been to Calgary, we've been to Miami, we've been to the UK. So more of that would be really cool. Getting into new geographies.
Earlier, you said that you think you're probably going to want to do this forever, but is there any possibility that you see where instead of building out this company long term, you do go for an earlier exit? Like, would you be tempted by that, or do you think, no, at all costs, this is something I always want to do?
I'm not superhuman. Everyone's greedy to some level. I mean, if someone comes around and offers us $100 million for our business tomorrow, it's going to be really hard to say no, and I'd probably say yes. So there are different things that could change the fact that I think I'm going to do it forever. But in absence of any of those really crazy things, I would love to keep doing this.
Okay, fair enough. And my last question is, how can people find out more about Speaker Labs and sign up for a workshop?
Great question. www.speakerlabs.ca. Check it out. I think we've got a pretty good website, and I am one of the people that respond to our contact form, so you can get in touch with me directly there.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you so much for taking the time
to chat
with me today.
Good to hang out. Thanks for having me.